Hey Book Dragons, I'm back. So I think sometimes I fail as a booktuber because whenever all of these end of the year things come out in these vlogs, I always want to do read all the Goodreads Choice Awards, but I struggle with that because it puts a lot of pressure on me and I'm never going to finish it in the timetable. So I think I'm eventually going to do that, but right now it's just way too much pressure to read like 5 adult fantasy books in a row that I'm like really far behind in the series, and I think I'm stressed out because I don't think I'm gonna finish it before like time allows. So I think I'm gonna do that vlog eventually. Like I do want to do that vlog. I just may do it in like 2024 when I'm like can devote my time to it, because right now I'm just so far behind. Like I would have to read 2 books for Woven Kingdom, I would have to read like 4 books for Foul Lady's Fortune, and I'm just like very overwhelmed with that, and I don't want to like just read it. I'm definitely gonna read like the one that wins. I think that would be like a fun vlog, but I do want to do something Goodreads, like Goodreads connected, because everyone's doing it and I'm just like very overwhelmed by that right now. Maybe I'll pre-plan a little bit, but I do have all the categories on my laptop and I will show you. Hold on, so I can actually show you. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a spinner wheel and we're gonna just pick a random category that is on the Goodreads Choice Awards. And I literally just put all the ones that I would like to read something. Young adult fiction. Oh my god, that's so funny because that's like the one I was thinking of. Okay, so and now we're gonna look at the young adult fiction category. And let's see. Okay, I have obviously read my one I voted for because I read Rain and really loved it. So I read Rain and really liked it. I read Check and Mate. Immortality Book 1 I have not read. Brothers Hawthorne I have. 5 Survive I've not heard the best things about. One of Us is Back. Again, have not read any. The Davenports. Ooh. Unfairly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute I have read. Imogen, obviously, and I don't actually own Warrior Girl. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to see if I have that book. I think I did. I think I got that one when I was in Italy. Imogen, obviously. I don't remember where I put it though. So I would have to read either Imogen, obviously, or the Davenports, because those were like actually on there. Huh. Alright, let me go see if I can find them. I know the Davenports is definitely like nearby because I saw it, but I don't know where. And I bought Imogen when I was in Italy. So, alright, let me go see if I can find Imogen, obviously. And then if I can't find that, I'll just read the Davenports because I actually know where that is. And yeah, I thought this would be a fun take on it, to read something in these categories and just try to see as many days as it takes me to kind of do it. Let me go see if I can find Imogen, obviously. I will be back momentarily. I think I'll just give you guys like what the books I've read so far in this category and like how I would rate them. So I definitely think Rain is first. And then if I had to rate the other ones I read, I would say Brothers Hawthorne is probably second in this category. Checkmate is probably third, and Highly Unsuspicious is probably fourth. And then I haven't read the others. So yeah, I don't know where my copy of the Davenports are, and like I always lose one book. So I think I'm gonna read Imogen, obviously. It's 10 o'clock, and I want to read like a good 100 pages of this before I check in with you guys again. And yeah, I just think this will be nice. It's like I'm on Team Cozy for a readathon I'm doing as well. And yeah, this will work. I feel good about this. I don't feel stressed now, and I feel like I can probably get through this. I have no idea what this book is about. I haven't read Becky Albertalli in a while, but I have always liked her writing style. So yeah, once I read the first 100 pages of this, it's been a while since I've read a YA contemporary, like a bit. And yeah, and then I'll check it with you guys. I might also spin tomorrow and pick up an audiobook just to kind of keep going, because my audiobook I'm listening to now, my other one is just a bit long and I'm just kind of burnt out. I think that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling burnt out because I'm trying to make so many plans and it's just stressing me out. And again, reading is supposed to be fun. So I'm gonna pick up this. I'm gonna go read 100 pages, try to just relax and decompress for a little bit. And I will check in with you guys tomorrow morning and see what we're gonna do tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna film, I don't know if I'm gonna read. But yeah, so I will see you guys when I have read 100 pages of this so we can chat. Bye. Like Dragons, I'm back, so I just want to do a quick update. Oh, I've changed my battery. I did wind up getting up to page 100 in Imogen, obviously, by Becky Albertalli. It's been a bit since I've read a Becky Albertalli book. I don't know what the other one was. I didn't read Kate in Waiting, but I read everything else because I should have read Kate in Waiting because it was like a theater thing. So I may go back and read that. But this book is very, very fun. So it gives me college vibes, and like she's a college at Imogen, and she is going to visit her best friend in college, and it takes place in upstate New York, which is just fun because that's where I went to college. And her best friend Lily goes to college. She's out and she's proud, but she tells a little bit of a fib to kind of impress her friends. She tells her friends that Imogen and her dated, and now Imogen is there and she's kind of dealing with the after effects of that lie. It's really, really interesting. I like it. It reminds me of all my feelings when I went to college. Like, she's about to go to college. She's going to go to the same college as her best friend. And this is potentially going to be her friend group, which I am really liking. And I remember going to college, and I went to college in upstate New York. It was really, really far away from my home. It was like 5 hours away. And I remember it was a time for me to like reinvent myself, and I was really excited for that. So she's kind of talking about her like reinventing herself in other ways, and I was reinventing myself in very, very different ways. But I just am really, really liking it. It's a fun read. I don't know if these characters are connected to any other story. Like, I don't know if this is connected to Kate in Waiting. I don't think so. But I'm just liking it. It's a fun read. It's definitely like a quick, it's like a change of pace. I haven't read a YA contemporary in so long, and I just think it's working. I always like how Becky infuses a lot of talks about queerness and talks about that in this story. And Imogen is getting, I wouldn't say, well, I would say she's getting like schooled a little bit on what it is to be a queer friend and to be an ally and to be an effective ally. And that is something that I've, also gone through in my life, because I am an ally, and I, sometimes you do things you shouldn't do and you learn. And I think that Imogen is dealing with that in a lot of different ways. But I'm just really, really liking it. I'm really, really enjoying it. So I'm going to go read another 100 pages and see how long that takes me. Right now it is just 10:30. My mom and my dad went to the city now that my dad is feeling a little bit better, which is really, really fun. I have the puppy today. I'm also listening to Chain of Thorns, which is a book that I have really wanted to read. And I'm like, I think I have like 4 to 5 hours left on double speed, which is probably like half the book, to be very honest with you. But yeah, I'm liking the characters. I'm liking the dynamic. There's the possibility of a romance in this. I think it's going to turn sapphic, which I am really looking forward to. So yeah, I'm gonna go read another 100 pages, and when I get to that point, I will give you guys an update and a time check. I'm just in the mood to read this week, and that's really what I want to do. I may film a little bit later, but the dog does not always like when I film, so I'm gonna read a little bit today. I want to give you guys 2 vlogs in a row for Bookmas. This vlog, like a weekend reading vlog, and also a vlog for next week. So I don't know how long this vlog is gonna take me, but I do want to give you guys a vlog. So I may need to film like 2 more videos. We'll see. But yeah, really, really fun. It's like a contemporary story. I think it has college vibes, and I think it takes place over like a weekend. So I think you get like a couple of different days in this story. So yeah, I'm excited. I'll talk to you guys soon for another update. Bye. I'm back. I just want to do a quick update. It's a little bit later. It's like almost 5 o'clock. But I have been getting a lot of reading done. I actually picked up the audiobook too from Hoopla, so I'm actually getting through this pretty speedily. So I got up to page 300 in Imogen, obviously, and I'm really, really liking it. I think it's a very slice of life story. Like, I think it has a lot of, LGBTQ plus elements to it. I don't think I've ever read I've read a book before, but like, it's just a very interesting premise, and I'm really liking it. I always like Becky Albertalli's writing style. I don't think I'm feeling that connected to all the side characters in this story that I felt when I read Simon and the Homo sapien agenda, like those characters I just felt so like rich, and I thought that they were, hi, you see my dog's nose, but these characters don't really feel like that unique to me. Like I'm liking it. I think it's probably gonna wind up being a 4-star read. There is a character in this story that's like, I wouldn't say she's annoying me, but I would say like she's being like a bit of a know-it-all in a lot of different aspects, and I think Imogen is kind of dealing with the brunt of that. But I also just like the elements of talking about her first time and going to college and kind of like her experience with that. Like not even she's not, but like going away and visit her friends and how that changes a lot of things. So I'm really liking it. My goal is to read like another 100 pages, and by then it'll probably be done so I can give you guys like a solid update. But I'm happy that the spinner wheel like forced me to pick this up, and I'm also glad that like I feel like I've been reading a lot of fantasy in some form the last couple of months. I think this was just like a nice refresher. So yeah, I'm gonna go read another 100 pages, and then that will probably be the end of the book, so I'll give you guys an update and then we'll choose our next read. But I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hey friends, I'm back. I just want to do a quick update. I did wind up finishing Imogen, obviously, by Becky Albertalli. This was for the category of young adult fiction. I liked it. I gave it 4 stars. I think that it was a fun read. I think it dealt with like a lot harder topics about the LGBTQ plus community.
Could you try again?
Oh, shush. Sorry, my computer is now talking to me. It's a new computer. Shush.
Still not sure about that.
Stop. Sorry, my computer is talking to me and it's being annoying. But I did like it. I think that it dealt with a lot of LGBTQ plus issues. The main characters are both bi, and that's a very, very interesting conversation. A lot of interesting conversations were had in this read. Thought it was fun. I think it was like a unique age to do right at the tail end of high school that you don't really see a lot in YA. I think you're seeing it a lot more. But I didn't feel that connected to all the characters. Like, I liked Imogen, but I didn't feel like when I read Simon and that Hipster Cruise, they just felt more connected to them. So I liked them. They just weren't like a new favorite. So I gave it 4 stars. I think that it's a very like quick read, very, very engaging, and it really helped me break my slump, which is really, really nice. So now we're going to spin the wheel again and see what is the next and maybe the final book for this Goodreads Choice Awards vlog. Pick a category. So here's my wheel. Put all the categories on again. Just because I may do it again, I don't know. Fantasy. All right. Well, let's go to Goodreads and let's look at fantasy. Okay. All right. So I did read Trash, which is my pick. All right. So, so many of these are still on my TBR. Like, I still want to read The Adventures of Mina El-Sarafi, Fragile, Threads of Power I can't read, A Day, A Fateful Night I can't read, Hellbent I could read, Bookshop and Bone Dust I could read, Starling House I could read, Swordcatcher. I literally just got a really pretty copy of Swordcatcher in the mail. Encyclopedia of Fairies I have read. Oh, this is so hard. I don't know what to choose. Torn between Starling House and Bookshops and Bone Dust. I literally just got and Swordcatcher too. Swordcatcher is like, I flew through this. Bookshops and Bone Dust, I do have the audiobook for too. And the puppy may want to go for a walk. Swordcatcher is big. I'm torn between Bookshops and Bone Dust, Starling House, Cassie, and The Unmaking. Oh. What am I going to choose? I think I'm going to pick... Maybe I'll pick 2. Maybe I'll pick up the audiobook of Bookshops and Bone Dust, and then I'll read physically Swordcatcher. If my dog wants to go for a walk, I don't know, she's been picky. But I gave this 4 stars. I'm going to go show you my stunning edition of Swordcatcher because it literally just came in the mail. So let me go get my book. It literally just came in the mail, so maybe it's like fate. But I've heard no one really talk about this book other than it's good. I just heard 4 paws in a book who's super picky say like it's worth a read, which is good, but I have no idea what this book's about. It is fine. It is my Fairy Loot edition. It has these beautiful sprayed edges. It's also 617 pages. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to decide. I do want to read this. I also do want to read Bookshops and Bone Dust. You know, maybe what I could do... Actually, you know what? This is not actually a bad idea. Because I really don't want to bring this to work with me because it's like so big. So here's what I think I'm going to do. I have a solution to the problem. Hold on. Hey Dragons, I'm back. Sorry, my dog is right here. So if you see her nose pop into frame, it's because she's mad that I'm filming. But I did want to say that it is about 6 o'clock. I did wind up reading 100 more pages of Swordcatcher by Cassie Clare. Really liking it. I think this book is fairly like the two. Oh, a little bit tired. I can't be tired because I want to read a little bit more tonight too. But the two stories definitely have combined. Like Leah and Kel definitely have like a combined moment. So like their two point of views are like interacting, and there's a lot of elements to them that are connecting them, which I'm liking. I'm still loving the world, and I think it's a very, very fantastical world. Like I just like it's a very interesting world. I wouldn't say it's magic yet. There are elements that like make me intrigued because there's a lot of history of how magic is not allowed in this world, and how certain populations have magic but this society doesn't. So it's just very interesting. Like I'm really liking it. There's a lot of entanglements that are progressing as it kind of passes, and I'm just liking it. It's very, very digestible, easy to read. There are a couple of plot things that are kind of being developed. There is a character named the Rag Picker King that is becoming more prevalent in both storylines, and our characters are starting to have dynamics with each other, which is kind of fleshing out the story a little bit, which I'm really enjoying. So yeah, my goal is to read another 100 pages. I don't know if I'm going to do that today or if I'm going to do it tomorrow, but I would love to. This is a 600 page book, and I've literally been reading it for like a week along with Bookshops and Bone Dust. And whenever I read a book that long, it's just a long time to read it, and my brain gets a bit fried. So I don't know if I want to. I think I'm definitely going to try to read 100 more pages of this tonight and see how long it takes me. But I am enjoying it. I think it's definitely going to be a 4 or a 5-star read. Definitely going to be a new favorite of mine. And I just like Cassie Clare's writing style. So I'm going to read another 100 pages and then give you guys a time check. I sometimes bow out and I don't read as late, but I would like to read at least 100 more pages to kind of see where we are time-wise. But I guess you're getting tired. And it's not even that late. But yeah. So I'm going to read another 100 pages and I will give you guys an update about time and length. My goal was to definitely finish this week, but I would love to make some progress and finish it tomorrow. So, all right, I'm going to go read another 100 pages and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. So tomorrow when I go to work, I am going to bring Bookshops and Bone Dust with me, and I'm going to stick this in my bag and I'm going to read this. And then today when I'm at home, I am going to read Swordcatcher, and if I happen to take the puppy for a walk today, I will probably not listen to this, but once I finish my audiobook I'm in the middle of, I will definitely. So this will be the book that's gonna go with me to work, Bookshops and Bone Dust, and then this will be my home book, unless I get to a point where like I desperately need to read it. We will see, but I'm gonna pick this up and see how I feel. I know nothing about it. The only thing I know is that 4 Paws in a Book has really, really liked it. I do not know what prompt this is gonna fit for because it's not on any of my TBR lists. Other than I could be a book that I've had for a while because I've literally had an arc of this since June. So that could be on my TBR for a while. We will see. But yeah, so these are going to be the 2 books I read for this prompt. And then I'm probably going to wrap up the vlog because this book is probably going to take me like a couple of days. If I could read 100 pages a day, I would be perfectly content with that. So I'm going to go see if the doggy wants to go for a walk. And once I've read about 100 pages of this, I will give you guys an update. Bye. Hey friends, I'm back. It is Saturday, so I do have a bit of an update. I did wind up finishing Change of Thorns by Cassie Clare, and I'm going to give this book 5 stars. I think it was a solid ending to the series. I think it set up the future of the Shadowhunter world really, really well. I liked it. I liked the characters. I definitely want to go back and reread this series eventually because it was such a long break between them, and I feel like I really want to reread it. Not gonna talk spoilers, but it was really, really good. It was solid. Wasn't really part of this vlog, but it was nice to listen to it. I'm happy that I got around to it. I'm glad that the Goodreads Choice Award pushed me to read it. But yeah, definitely a 5-star read. I also read and listened to about 160 pages into Bookshops and Boners by Travis Baldree. We're finally starting to get the mystery element to it. My copy came with these stickers, which I'm liking. It is definitely a prequel, I will say that. I really think you could probably read them out of order, and I don't really think it would make a whole lot of difference into your enjoyment, but if you read it in the proper order, I think you'll see why Legends and Lattes happen, why Viv decided to kind of like hang up her cape and like her sword and kind of have a quiet life, because this is where she got the dynamics. But it was fun. I would say right now it's probably going to be like a 4.5, 5-star read, but I am enjoying it. And I just got up to page 200 in Swordcatcher by Cassie Clare. Oh yeah, 200. So yeah, I'm liking this book. It's very, very compelling. I wish I wouldn't have gotten sick this week because I probably would have read a lot more. I had a pretty bad sinus infection and I was off from work on Monday. And I just didn't wind up reading a lot of it, but I want to sit down and really capture this book today because I would like to read another like 100 pages. It is still pretty early. It's 11:12, so I probably have to go get some dinner or lunch. But yeah, it basically follows these two characters, and I said before, you follow the Swordcatcher and you follow this person that's going to be like a doctor, and she's like kind of doing it on the down low because women aren't doctors in the society. There's a lot of political intrigue. And Kel is the Swordcatcher, but he's also has the eyes of the Rad Picker King, which is someone that wants to get information on the inside workings of the castle and on another potential gang or crime boss that is kind of coming up to him. But his loyalty is always going to be to Connor, the king or the prince. And you don't get Connor's point of view, and I'd be intrigued in future books if we do. There is a lot of like class dynamics that are talked about between them, and every like couple of chapters you get like a found text document that kind of expands the world, which I love. Because I just think it like expands the world like quite dramatically. I'm also really liking Lynn's point of view. She's a doctor, but she also has a best friend that is dealing with a lot of illness that is kind of really affecting her life, and Lynn has to kind of make the decision. Is she going to kind of put all her efforts into kind of making her friend better, or is she going to kind of like be her best friend and like, you know, go to balls and stuff like that? So dynamic in that discussion is very, very interesting. So I just got up to page I'm gonna say 200. So when I get up to page 300, I will give you guys an update. This book is quite chunky. But yeah, I'm really liking it. Again, all these books are just working for me. Like all these books are authors that I've read before. Read 2 Cassie Clare books. Her book is just so like easy to read. Like it's she puts them in very, very complicated situations, but they're very, very easy books to read. So once I read about 100 more pages, I will give you guys an update. Bye. And I am back. I am still dealing with some vocal issues, so I do apologize, but I'm trying to talk slower and softer in these videos, so I apologize. But I do want to say that I do have about an hour left in Chain of Thorns by Cassie Clare, which I am really liking. I think I'm definitely happy that I chose that to be my book that I like read and voted for the Goodreads Choice Awards, because I'm really pleased with that. And then I read about 62 pages in Bookshops and Bone Dust, which is a prequel to Legends and Latte, which follows Viv after she is injured in battle and she kind of gets sent to this seaside town, and she winds up going on a subtle adventure, I'll say that, and I'm liking it. It's very, very fun. I read about 62 pages in it, and it's a totally new cast of characters, which is super fun. It makes me want to reread Legends and Latte, and I do have the audio for that, so that may happen. And I am doing a cozy readathon this month. But yeah, I did want getting up to page 62 in this. This has been my commute book because it's a little bit compactable and I can take it with me. And I also read about 100 pages in Swordcatcher by Cassie Clare. This is reading to me like a Cassie Clare book. It is not Shadowhunters, but I just love how she expands the world. And you follow two main characters. So you follow Kel, and he is known as a sword catcher. And what a sword catcher is he is like the bodyguard for the prince. And the bodyguard can basically like take on his appearance and can protect him. And he's a sword catcher. And then the other point of view you get is, what is her name? Lynn. And Lynn really wants to be a doctor, but in her type of people, you can't be a doctor. So she's kind of dealing with that. And I assume their paths is going to cross. There's a lot of political intrigue. We're learning a lot, and I'm just really liking it. I've learned about 100 pages. There hasn't been like a plot element to the story yet, like a big one, but there has been a lot of like world building, which has kept me captivated. The two characters are very, very digestible. It talks a lot about male relationships and male dynamics. And I remember when I was reading Shadowhunters, the bond between Kel and his, the prince is very, very captivating. It reminds me of the dynamic between the male Shadowhunters when they had the shadow bond. Like, I just like that a lot. So I'm really, really liking this, about 100 pages in. I hope to be a bit farther, but I just didn't get that far. So the next time you guys see me, I'm going to hope to be on to page 200, which I don't know if I'm going to read this chunk tonight. But I am liking it. I'm happy that I picked it up, and it's reading to me like a very digestible adult fantasy, which makes me happy because when I read Book of Night by Holly Black, I did not feel the same way. I felt it was very, very isolating, but kind of looking back on it, I don't think Holly Black's writing is my favorite, just to be honest. Like, I really struggled with Book of Night, and I've struggled with all of her other series except for the Black Cat series and the obviously the Queen of Air and Darkness. And I'm really struggling with Stolen Air 2. That is supposed to be in this vlog as well, but I don't know if I'm going to wind up reading it this year. I really hope to, but it just depends. I was really struggling with her writing style, but anything I've read by Cassie, I've really, really liked. So I feel like this was probably going to be a better author to kind of start adult fantasy with, because I don't feel like her writing is as unapproachable as I feel like Holly's was when I read Book of Night, and I felt very, very out of sorts. But this world just feels to me, I wouldn't say it's like, like it's set in the Shadowhunter world, because it's clearly not, but the elements that I liked about Shadowhunters I do see in this world, which is really, really cool. So I'm about 62 pages into this. I will probably continue reading this on my commute tomorrow. I will definitely wind up probably finishing Chain of Thorns tomorrow as well, because I have about an hour left. I'm in like the decisions of casting, so I really have to kind of buckle down and do that, but I need something in my ears, and as long as I don't have a ton of auditions tomorrow, that's probably what I'm going to do. But my goal for tonight, if my puppy cooperates, is to read 100 more pages of this so I can get into the story, but I don't want to bring this to work with me because it's pretty chunky. I do have an arc that I could bring if I really, really want to, but we only have 2 more days left in the week. So yeah, that is what I've been doing. That is my update for you, and if I wound up reading 100 pages tonight, I will give you guys an update, and if not, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Dragons, I'm back. So I did wind up finishing Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare for this vlog, and I really liked it. I think with my fancy fairy loots and my fancy owl crates, I am going to get the ebook so I can read. This book took me over 2.5 weeks to read. Like, I was reading other things, but it was such a long time. As much as I like the story, I was falling in and out of the story. I don't read massive books, and I read 2 massive books pretty much back to back. I read Swordcatcher, and then I just finished Chain of Thorns, which I also liked. But again, massive, and I normally read stuff very, very quickly. So it just was a bit of an adjustment, and I need to realize that, number one, I don't necessarily want to lug my fancy editions everywhere that I go, but also I want to read continuously. So it's just going to have to be a little bit of a balancing act in 2024. But I really did like it. Like, I was captured. It was a really fun read. The ending was a bit wild. There was a lot of elements of the story that did really work for me. So yeah, I'm really, really happy. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow when I finish Bookshops and Bone Dust. Right now, I'm probably going to give this like a 4.5 because of my... And I'm just going to give it like a 5 on Goodreads, but I'm probably going to rate it a 4.5 just because it was really hard for me to dip back in and out of the story, and I think that like lost my focus a bit, but I really did like it. So I will see you guys when I'm done with Bookshops and Bone Dust. But so far, this was actually a really fun experiment. I really like to do that. So yeah, I just want to plan for the Goodreads Choice Awards a little bit better next year. Tell me in the comments, what would you like to see me do for the Goodreads Choice Awards? Is there anything that you feel is missing in this space that I can maybe do? I read a little bit of everything, but I'm mostly a YA fantasy reader, so at least I try to be. So yeah, I will see you when I finish Bookshops and Bone Dust, which I only have like an hour and a half left. So be back soon. Bye. I'm back. I just want to wrap up this vlog because I did want to finish Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldry. I really liked it. I'm probably going to give it like 5 stars, 4.5 rounded up. I enjoyed it. It was very a quiet read. I think it was a solid prequel set before Viv decided to shut down. It was like she was injured in a battle and she has to go recover in the small town, and I liked it. I'm actually rereading it because I was having a really hard time focusing on the whole read, so I'm giving it a reread, but I really did finish it. Like, I'm just rereading it again with the issues I have with my focus, which has happened a lot this year. But I really enjoyed it. So if I had to pick a favorite of this whole vlog, I would probably say I would really like them all. They would all get 4 stars. If I had to pick a favorite, I would probably say the cuteness and the vibes was probably this, and the storyline was probably Swordcatcher because I thought it was unique and different. But yeah, that was Goodreads choosing my reads based on their nominees. I had Imogen, obviously, by Becky Albertalli that I gave 4 stars to. I had Bookshops and Bone Dust, which I gave 4.5 stars to, and I had Swordcatcher, which I gave 4.5 stars to. So pretty good. Let me know if you'd like to see me do this again with a different category. I would love to do that for you, and I'll talk to you guys soon for another video.